Hello children, welcome back. Before starting the lesson, let's revise what we have read in the previous class. The third level, written by Finney, is a science fiction. It is about the mental states of people during the war or after the war. The main character in the story is Charlie, who has gone to the third level of Grand Central Railway Station. Third level means third station, where this railway station generally had only two levels, but Charlie wandered into the third level. And this thing he told to his psychiatrist friend, and his friend said to him that he was dreaming. His psychiatrist friend said that Charlie became a waking dreamer. Waking dreamer means दिन में चलते हुए जागते हुए सपने देखने वाला, और इसीलिए वो थर्ड लेवल में पहुंच गया. He further said that he wanted to escape from the modern worries, wars, insecurities. That's why he had wandered into the third level of Grand Central Railway Station. His friend explained that Charlie, you wanted to escape from the modern problems, insecurities. That's why you had entered into the third level of Grand Central Railway Station, which does not exist. There was no existence of third level. For this, Charlie said that everybody in this world wants to escape from the worries and the insecurities, but nobody wandered down into the third level of Grand Central Railway Station. That was fine. That was fine thing, because a lot of people have the worries, but all had not entered into the third level railway station, third level of Grand Central Railway Station. His friends pointed out about his hobby of stamp collection. Charlie's friend pointed out the hobby of Charlie's stamp collection. And they said that this hobby keeps Charlie away from the reality, present realities. In the old stamp, he found himself pleased, happy with the past memories. For this, Charlie also said that his grandfather also had the same hobby to collect the stamp, and in his days there was no war, there was no insecurity, he was happy. Why did he start collecting the stamp? Even he gave the example of Roosevelt also, the President Roosevelt. Further, he explained that how he entered into the third level, how he had wandered into the third level. One day, after late work, he was going to his apartment. So instead of going to the bus, he preferred to go by train. And at his comfort, he preferred train as it was faster. Train was obviously faster, so he has chosen train. He entered into a suspicious tunnel in the Grand Central Railway Station, and he entered a different looking station, which was different than first and second level. He entered into the different kind of railway station, where he saw people dressed like 1890 something. So he entered into the another station, another kind of station. There he saw that people had worn different kind of dress. Different, their sense of dressing was different than the present days. It was looking like 1890 something. There were brass spitons on the platform. It was not seen in the present days. The lights were dim and flickering. He had seen the wooden booking window and old-fashioned things there. There he saw very small courier and Ives locomotive with a funnel-shaped stack. And then he realized, he understood that definitely he had entered into the age of 1890s railway station, that was the third level. Now let's see the remaining part. So when he said that he realized that he was on the third level, which was looking like 1890s, to make sure, I walked over to a newsboy and glanced at the stack of papers at his feet. To make myself right, he went to the newsboy and looked at the bunch of the newspaper. It was the World. The name of the newspaper was the World. And the World has not been published for years. This newspaper, which was the name of the newspaper was the World, it has not been published for years, means it was stopped publishing. And now he had seen this newspaper in third level. The lead story said something about President Cleveland, and the headline in the newspaper was about the President Cleveland. I have found that front page scenes in the public library files, and it was printed June 11, 1894. He was surprised and said, Charlie was surprised and said that he had seen this front page in the public library, and the date was printed on the newspaper was June 11, 1894. So by this line we can say that he was in 1894. Right, means 1890s. I turned toward the ticket windows, knowing that here on the third level at Grand Central I could buy tickets that would take Louisa and me anywhere in the United States we wanted to go. Then he turned towards the ticket window that was on the third level at Grand Central, where he wanted to go with his wife Louisa anywhere in the United States. In the year 1894, I wanted 2 tickets to Galesburg, Illinois. Galesburg, Illinois. He understood that he was in the year 1894, and in the period of 1890s, he was interested to go to Galesburg, Illinois. So he wanted to go to Galesburg, Illinois. He wanted to buy 2 tickets to Galesburg, Illinois. Here the writer was asking to us, or you can say Charlie was asking about the place. He was saying that this place Galesburg, Illinois is still a wonderful town. Still is, it means in the present days, with big old frame houses, huge lawns and tremendous trees whose branches meet overhead and roof the streets. Means still it is a wonderful place with a huge lawns, tremendous trees, means the trees, and it reaches to the overhead and roof the streets. It's real wonderful. And in 1894, Charlie said that in present days still it is wonderful, and in the time, in the period of 1894, summer evenings were twice as long and people set out on their lawns. The men smoking cigars and talking quietly, the women waving palm leaf fans, with the fireflies all around in a peaceful world. He was explaining the beautiful period of 1894 in Galesburg, Illinois, that the summer evening were twice longer. People set out on their lawns, men smoke cigar, women wave palm leaf fans, and fireflies all around. And that was the peaceful place that time. To be back there with the First World War still 20 years off and the World War II over 40 years in the future, I wanted 2 tickets for that. Charlie said that it was the peaceful time, it was the peaceful period, and he said to be back there with the First World War still 20 years off and World War II or 40 years in the future, I wanted 2 tickets for that. Dear children, he said that he wanted to go to that place, Galesburg, Illinois, and that was peaceful place. Remember children, you know the date of First World War. You know that First World War was timing of this was 1914 to 1918. It was the period of First World War, and the Second World War was you know that its period was 1939 to 1945. And here we are talking about the period of 1890. See 1890, you know, and the difference between the First World War, 20 years, around 20 years, approximate 20 years, 1890 and then 14, or you can see that 94 to 14, approximately 20 years, and for the Second World War it is 40 years. Means both world wars were away from the present time. That he said here, he wanted 2 tickets for Galesburg, Illinois. The clerk figured the fare. He glanced at my fancy headband, but he figured the fare. Fancy headband, you know, headband that he had worn, straw hat, okay, straw hat and band there in his head, you know, that. So he figured, he saw, he looked at that, but he concentrated, he looked at the fare, he figured the fare, and I had enough for 2 coach tickets one way, and Charlie had enough money, so for the one way journey he was about to give the money. But when I counted out the money and looked up, the clerk was staring at me. So to pay the fare of tickets, he was counting the money and the clerk was staring at him. He nodded at the bills. Bills means note, rupees, नोट, ओके, द करेंसी, ओके. तो जब नोट उसने निकाली, जब वो नोट गिन रहा था, तो जो क्लर्क ने उसे देखकर नोडेड, उसने सिर हिलाया, ओके, मना किया. ही नोडेड एट द बिल्स एंड ही सेड, दैट एंट मनी मिस्टर, ही सेड, एंड इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू स्किन मी, you won't get very far. And he glanced at the cash drawer beside him. उसने बिल देखते ही कहा, that ain't money, that ain't means that is not money, mister. क्योंकि because in the present time and the period of 1890s, the currency was changed. So he said that, Mister, it is not the money, it is not the currency, and if you are trying to skin me, skin means trying to disguise me, then you won't get very far. Very far means तुम ज़्यादा दूर भाग नहीं सकते, बचकर नहीं जा सकते. And he glanced at the cash drawer beside him. और फिर उसने जानबूझकर अपनी जिसमें वो केश रखता था, पैसे रखता, उसकी तरफ दिखाया. Of course the money was old style bills, half again as big as the money we use nowadays and different looking. तो उसके जो ड्रॉर में मनी वाली जो ड्रॉर देखने के बाद लगा कि yes, this bills, this currency was different than the present days. It was okay, so it was different. I turned away and got out fast, and this Charlie turned and disappeared means he came back fast. There is nothing nice about jail even in 1894. The very important line you can say, you can note down this, that there is nothing nice about jail even 1894. So here it is sarcasm here. The comment or here is that even in 1894 or in the present time, jail was not nice. Okay, when you are in jail either in 1890s or in the present, jail is never nice. Jail. So he did not want to go to jail and he ran from there. And that was that. I left the same way I came, I suppose. And same way which he preferred to go, he came back. I suppose इसने यूज किया कि मुझे ध्यान तो नहीं है रास्ता क्या है. He did not know the way, but he came back. Next day during lunch hour, I drew $300 out of the bank, nearly all we had, and bought old style currency. That really worried my psychiatrist friend. You can buy old money at almost any coin dealers, but you have to pay a premium. My $300 bought less than 200 in old style bills, but I did not care. Eggs were 13 cents a dozen in 1894. Next day, he drew $300 out of his bank. Nearly all we had means whatever the savings he had, he withdrew from his bank, and bought old style currency, where that really worried my psychiatrist friend. Really worried means that all savings he invested, or you can say he spent to purchase the old style currency. You can buy old money at almost any coin, and it is easily available at the old coin dealers. But for purchasing old currency, old style currency, you have to pay a premium. जानते हो ना थोड़ा उसको कि it is antique, और antique चीज़ों को खरीदने के लिए कुछ पैसा ज़्यादा लगता है, तो उसने पुरानी करेंसी खरीदने के लिए एक्स्ट्रा पैसा दिया. And out of his $300, he could buy only 200 in old style bills. But I did not care. लेकिन इससे उसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता था. And he did not care about that, because he compared the price of the eggs in the age of 1894. In 13 cents, he could buy a dozen eggs. But I have never again found the corridor that leads to the third level at Grand Central Station, although I have tried often enough. He purchased the money, he bought the old style bills, and tried to go to the corridor which leads to the third level, but he did not find it. He did not find the corridor again. He tried hard to reach to the third level, but he failed. Louisa was pretty worried when I told her all this. And to go to the Illinois, he was with Louisa and searching the third level. but he did not miss. They did not find. Louisa was worried when Charlie did not find third level, and did not want me to look for the third level anymore. And after a while I stopped. तो लुइसा ने मना कर दिया कि अब दोबारा तुम ढूंढने नहीं जाओगे, तुम दोबारा से थर्ड लेवल ढूंढने नहीं जाओगे, क्योंकि इसने बहुत सी बार ट्राई किया लेकिन कभी इसको नहीं मिला. एंड आफ्टर देन ही स्टॉप्ड सर्चिंग. आई वेंट बैक टू माई स्टैम्प्स एंड अगेन ही वेंट टू हिज हॉबी ऑफ स्टैम्प. बट नाउ वी वर बोथ लुकिंग एवरी वीकेंड because now we have proof that the third level is still there. Charlie and his wife Louisa both were looking for the third level. अब तक तो लुइसा चार्ली ढूंढ रहा था, but now they both were looking for that every weekend, हर weekend को, because now we have proof. लेकिन क्योंकि this time उनके हाथ में कुछ लगा था, उनको कुछ evidence मिला that third level is still there. What was the evidence? My friend Sam Weiner, the psychiatrist friend है ना, psychiatrist जो friend है उसका नाम है Sam Weiner. My psychiatrist friend Sam Weiner disappeared. पता चल गया उनको कि ये जो Sam Weiner है वो disappear के पता नहीं कहाँ गायब हो गया. Nobody knew where, but I sort of suspected because Sam's city boy, and I used to tell him about Galesburg. I went to school there and he always said he liked the sound of the place, and that's where he is all right in 1894. Let me clear that Sam was a city boy, यानी सेम सिटी में रहने वाला लड़का था. जो साइकिट्रिस्ट फ्रेंड है वो सिटी में रहने वाला लड़का था, और ये जो चार्ली है ये गेल्सबर्ग यानी एक विलेज का लड़का है, गेल्सबर्ग का लड़का है. तो ये चार्ली अपने फ्रेंड को गेल्सबर्ग के बारे में बताया करता था. वेयर ही वेंट टू स्कूल देयर, ही ऑलवेज सेड ही लाइक द साउंड ऑफ द प्लेस, लाइक दैट मैनी गुड थिंग्स ही वाज टेलिंग अबाउट गेल्सबर्ग टू सेम द साइकिट्रिस्ट फ्रेंड. उसे अब लग गया कि अब वो 1894 में ही है. कैसे लग गया? बिकॉज वन नाइट फ्यूजिंग with my stamp collection I found, in excitement he was looking the stamp collection, he found, well, do you know what a first day cover is? अच्छा, बीच में ही उसने अपने बात को रोकते हुए हमसे पूछ रहा है, रीडर से पूछ रहा है that do you know what is first day cover? Yes, मैंने फर्स्ट डे कवर को अपनी सेकेंड पार्ट में एक्सप्लेन किया है. I have explained the what first day cover is in the second part. So what first day cover is? When a new stamp is used, stamp collector buy some stamps and use them to mail envelopes to themselves on the very first day of sale, and the postmark proves the date. The envelope is called a first day cover. मैंने बताया है कि वो स्टैम्प को फर्स्ट डे उसी को परचेस करके एक एनवलप में खाली पेपर पर, खाली एनवलप में उसके ऊपर स्टैम्प लगाते हैं. तो जो पोस्ट मास्टर है उस पर डेट की सील लगा के उसको उसके एड्रेस पर पहुंचा देता है. इसी को फर्स्ट डे कवर कर देते हैं. तो व्हाट वाज हियर, व्हाई ही मेंशन्ड द फर्स्ट डे कवर हियर? दैट नाइट अमंग माय ओल्डेस्ट फर्स्ट डे कवर्स, he was searching the first day cover, he was looking the stamp, he saw the first day covers. I found one that should not have been there. He found one first day cover that should not be there, means उसे वहाँ नहीं होना चाहिए था, but there it was. But that first day cover was there in his old collection. It was there because someone had mailed it to my grandfather at his home in Galesburg. And probably it was there because someone had mailed it to grandfather's address in Galesburg. That's what the address on the envelope said. क्योंकि उस एनवलप पर, उस फर्स्ट डे कवर पर एड्रेस गेल्सबर्ग का ही लिखा हुआ था. And it had been there since July 18, 1894. The postmark showed that. और उस पोस्टमार्क पर जो डेट लगी हुई थी वो डेट बता रही थी जुलाई 18, 1894. डेट क्या बता रही थी? जुलाई 18, 1894. Yet I did not remember it at all. लेकिन उसको याद नहीं आ रहा था. The stamp was a 6 cent, dull brown with a picture of President Garfield. उस पर प्रेसिडेंट गारफील्ड की पिक्चर थी. प्राइस वॉज 6 cent. Naturally, when the envelope came to granddad in the mail, it went right into his collection and stayed there till I took it out and opened it. Naturally कि जब वो एनवेलप फर्स्ट डे कवर जब ग्रैंडडैड के पास में आया होगा, उन्होंने अपने कलेक्शन में इसको रख दिया था. एंटिल उसके बाद इसको खोला किसी ने भी नहीं, सिर्फ इसको मैंने आज खोला है. He opened that first day cover, जो एनवेलप था. He opened that first day cover. Generally, the paper inside the first day cover was actually it was blank, but that time it was not blank. What was written there? It was the address written there, that 941 Wilford Street, Galesburg, Illinois, July 18, 1894. See, dear children, the address was written here, that about 80, that Galesburg, and that is Illinois. Date was July 18, 1894. Charlie, I got to wishing that you were right. Then I got to believing you were right. And Charlie, it's true, I found the third level. I have been there here 2 weeks, and right now down the street at the delis someone is playing a piano, and they were all out on the front porch seeing Nellie home, and I am invited over for lemonade. Come on back, Charlie and Louisa. Keep looking till you find the third level. It is worth it. Believe. एक लेटर उनको मिला, उसमें लिखा था that I got to wishing that you were right. Okay, that about good. Yes, you are right there. And Charlie, he said that Charlie, you are right that the third level is exist. I have been here 2 weeks. Someone who has written this letter, he was there for 2 weeks. And he was there in the at the Delhi's. Delhi is a name of person. He was there at the street of Delhi. Okay, someone is playing piano. He can hear the voice sound of piano, and in the front porch seeing Nellie home with the piano. He was invited over the lemonade शिकंजी के लिए उन्हें बुलाया था. Come on back, आ जाओ. Charlie and Louisa, keep looking till you find the third level. ढूंढते रहो, तुम्हें थर्ड लेवल जरूर मिलेगा, क्योंकि मे बी यहाँ थर्ड लेवल से गेल्सबर्ग इलिनॉइस आ गया हूँ in the age of 1894. Sorry. The note is signed same. और ये लेटर किसने लिखा था? सेम में, वही सेम, that psychiatrist friend, same. At the stamp and coin store I go to, I found out that bought $800. Charlie went to that stamp store where he bought $300, $200 old bills. He went and found that the same bought $800 currency of old days. That ought to set him up in a nice little hay, feed and grain business. He always said that's what he really wished he could do, and he certainly can't go back to his old business. वो कहता है कि जो $800 उसके पास थे, उनसे वो एक अच्छा सा बिजनेस कर सकता था, जिसके लिए उसने बचाए थे हे और ग्रेन बिजनेस. एक अच्छा सा बिजनेस वो कर सकता था. He always, जिसकी उसकी बड़ी इच्छा थी, he was always said that's what he really wished he could do, and he certainly can go back to his old business. लेकिन अब वो उसका old business नहीं कर सकता because he bought old currencies. Not in Galesburg, Illinois. कम से कम Galesburg में तो नहीं, Galesburg में वो business नहीं कर सकता. In 1894, his old business, उसका पुराना business वो नहीं कर सकता. And he said, why same was my psychiatrist. Charlie said, कि ये सेम मेरा साइकेटिस्ट, मेरा फ्रेंड साइकेटिस्ट क्यों था, ये सेम ही क्यों साइकेटिस्ट था, इसको क्यों पता चला. ओके, दैट्स हाउ द चैप्टर कंप्लीटेड.